These 3 students you are about to meet are in their last semester in the registered nursing program at Sacramento City College.
My name is Caitlin Garcia. I previously attended El Camino High School in the Sacramento area. I graduated from there in 2004, and then I'm currently in my 4th and final semester at Sacramento City College for nursing.
My name is Daniel Rodriguez. I graduated from high school. I graduated from West Campus back in 2007, and I've been attending Sacramento City College since then. I'm currently in the registered nursing program in my 4th semester.
Okay, so my name is Victor. I graduated high school from Armio High School in Fairfield, and I graduated in 2007. I'm currently in my last semester in nursing school at Sacramento City College, 4th semester, and I'm excited to be finished.
What was your experience like in high school science, and how many hours a week did you study?
So in high school, I basically just wanted to get out of there as quick as possible. So I did all my classes and then did an outside work experience. So I basically got my junior and senior year classes cut in half. And science-wise, I took maybe some biology, but no AP courses or anything, just general, just enough to get out.
In high school, I didn't necessarily apply myself, but things came easy to me, so I didn't really have to put too much effort into it. And I had attended a AP biology class senior year, and the amount of hours I put in studying, I would say would be minimal, but I did it fairly well.
What was your experience like in college science prerequisites?
So college, once I graduated, I knew I just needed to get my general education. So I did what was needed and required for that. So I got my general ed in 2 years, but then I still realized I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. So I did take a test through the campus that kind of helped see where I wanted to go career-wise, and it was a medical field. Dental and nursing were basically the top 2, and they had the same prerequisites. So I started working on those, not realizing that science courses were such a big part, but it took me 5 years to complete them, but I did, just based on economy and classes provided and everything. But yeah, so completely different.
The major science courses were awakening. I realized that I needed to apply myself, and that it wasn't going to come to me like it did back in high school or in other subjects. I found that chemistry and the chemistry and biology classes, I put in a lot of time studying to do well, and I made all these diagrams and everything for biology, specifically anatomy and physiology, and I ended up, helping my classmates study. I posted all these resources, and in doing that, it helped myself to learn the material. And in chemistry, I was with a study group and a couple friends, and that was pretty. All my science courses were pretty tough.
Yeah, the thing about nursing prerequisite science classes, anatomy and physiology, microbiology, chemistry, especially A&P, anatomy and physiology and microbiology, they're very time-consuming. There is a lot to learn, a lot of material. The difference is incredible. There is so much more to learn. There's so much more to study. I probably spent 20 hours plus each week for those classes because there's just a lot of material. It is definitely a challenge for sure. The prerequisite science courses are something that you really need to be focused on, especially if you want to get an A. And that is what is required to get into some of these programs, nursing. So I recommend that you study a lot more in the college pre-nursing classes.
How did you study differently to be successful in college science courses?
College, just the whole application process was completely different. Basically, just having to understand it, but then having to actually understand how it worked as opposed to just memorizing it, completing the test and moving on, because I knew I would eventually have to apply it again in whichever dental or nursing field I wanted to go into. So it was more the retention of it.
Back in when I was taking anatomy and physiology, there was, I believe it was called the HOPE program. And I used that, and it helped a lot because there's a lot of there's models for you to use and get extra help with material that you're not quite understanding. And I found it to be really useful. In chemistry, I just met with classmates and we studied together.
Well, I think that I just realized that if I'm going to get into nursing, it's going to be I'm going to have to be really focused and determined throughout the program, and especially starting with the prerequisites.
In your registered nursing program, how many hours a week do you need to study to be successful?
It completely depends on your learning level, what previous job experience you've had. For me personally, I do dental assisting. I also graduated at Sac City with dental assisting, but so I had a little bit of healthcare behind me. So I know first semester was pretty easy for me just because I already had a little bit of healthcare experience, but after that it was completely different. It's probably 20, 25, 30 hours a week depending on if it's a test week, and it just depends on if you know your studying style and then if you can actually use it and apply it.
I tell everyone this, you're never done studying. You're always going to be studying, and if you think you've done enough, you haven't done enough. You just have to keep on studying. There's no cap if you want to be successful.
How is the RN program different than your prerequisite science courses? How are you studying differently to be successful?
So the science courses that you take as prerequisites, you're now not only having to know them, but you're having to learn how to apply them, and specifically for nursing, what the nurse is going to do, the interventions, how to evaluate the patient, the course of action. So you're taking it to a completely different level, and then on top of that you have the test taking style, which is called NCLEX for nursing, but that's the same way as far as the test styles too. So by the time you get to fourth semester, you're going to have to really know your test taking skills in order to actually graduate, basically.
In my prereqs, I found that it was a lot of material. It was material you needed to memorize and then be able to answer the questions. In my nursing program, the material that you learn is on the test, but it's more about applying what you've learned and thinking outside the box of how this relates to this, and then you got to come up with the answer.
If you could do something different in your past education during high school and college, what would it be?
I would change, before I didn't know what I wanted to get into. If you're interested in an allied health program or healthcare, I'd recommend you get your science prereqs done as soon as possible, because those are really difficult to get into. It's very competitive. And if you're in the registered nursing program or any program, I'd recommend you be on top of all the material, because if you fall behind, you'll have a stressful time to do well.
I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm 26 now and going to finish pretty soon, so I think that this is a pretty good age to finish nursing school or college. I think that it depends on who you are and what you want to do. If you are very focused and right out of high school and you think that nursing or healthcare is the way to go, or whichever path, I would recommend starting as soon as possible, getting those pre-nursing science classes or any other classes done.
So if I actually knew what I wanted to do in high school, even if it's just me knowing that I wanted to go in the healthcare field, a lot of people don't know that you can start taking college courses in high school and get like dual credit for it. So I would definitely recommend that, even if it's just to get a head start on college courses. And then secondly, if you do know you're going into a healthcare field, because we all pretty much have the same science prereqs and other prerequisites, I would suggest getting a head start on those so they don't back you up later on.
On behalf of the faculty of Sacramento City College and myself, I am pleased to confirm, to verify that each one of these graduates has completed the rigorous associate degree nursing program and all the requirements therewith. Ladies and gentlemen, we are confident that each one is ready to assume their role in healthcare as professional registered nurses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our December 2014 class.
It sounds official, doesn't it? This video was made possible by the California Community College's Chancellor's Office Sector Navigator Grant, number 13151-004.